Hi everybody, it's Harvard lawyer Lee. Late last night, I uploaded a video about the highlights from Amber Heard's cross-examination. Today I want to look at it from a slightly different perspective. I want to ask the question, why is it that cross-examination was so effective? How was it that Camille Vasquez managed to take the case so far in the course of the cross-examination? So let's start with the knife. Now, you may remember that Amber Heard gave Johnny Depp a knife as a birthday gift. And Camille Vasquez wanted to make the point that if you were really afraid of Johnny Depp, Amber, you wouldn't give him a knife as a birthday gift. It was even inscribed "until death," which is creepy if she's afraid of him. So Camille wanted to talk about that. And what she could have done is just say, knife. You gave him a knife. That has impact, it still matters, but it's a lot less effective. And part of the reason is that the jury members may have different ideas of knife. When you say the word knife, they may be thinking steak knife. They may be thinking of the butcher block of knives they recently gave to somebody as a gift. They may not have in mind what Amber actually gave Johnny. And so she also could show a photograph. That's what happened in the direct examination of Johnny Depp. They used a photograph. But she did something more powerful here. She actually brought the physical knife, and she had a deputy bring it out, pull it out, and show the real knife to the jury. Very big impact. That was really well done. Oh, by the way, before I forget, please subscribe and turn the notifications on, because there is so much happening in the trial this week, and you need to be aware if anything important breaks this week. So the second thing I want to talk about is how she did the cross-examination about Australia. Now, Australia is a critical piece for this particular case because we've got different stories. We've got Amber saying, Johnny, everybody agrees Johnny cut off the tip of his finger, but Amber says the way it happened is Johnny did it himself in a wall-mounted phone. Johnny now says Amber threw a vodka bottle at him and severed the end of his finger. So that story matters. Who's telling the truth matters in a defamation case. So who's telling the truth in that story matters. Well, Camille Vasquez doesn't have a video of what happened at that moment. She doesn't even have an audio from that moment or a photograph. So she's got to do something different. For lack of a better term, I'll call it layering. What she did was take smaller pieces of evidence and pile them on top of one another to create a story about what happened, a narrative about what happened to show the jury. So for example, she had a picture of the scene. Now the picture shows a phone sitting on a desk. Well, why would you have a phone sitting on a desk if you have a wall-mounted phone? That was one piece. Then she talked about evidence that had already been given in direct examination. Remember, all this has been planned since the beginning of the trial. Ben King, the house manager, came in and said, look, there were a lot of things I had to repair after the fight between Amber and Johnny in Australia. But here's the list, and nowhere on there is wall-mounted phone. Another little piece of evidence. Then she played the audio where Johnny tells Amber, look, I went to 5 different bathrooms and 2 different bedrooms, and you kept coming after me. And the point being, Amber was the aggressor, not the other way around. Now, Camille Vasquez also had to address the really horrendous allegations of SV by Amber Heard. I hate to be cryptic, but I have to for the YouTube algorithm. But in great and terrible detail on direct examination, Amber Heard said, I was a victim of SV, and here's what happened to me. And Camille Vasquez first, in order to break that apart, first used what Amber Heard did not have. For example, she did not have any medical records that would show she got treatment for these, what should have been pretty horrendous injuries. She had bleeding and so forth, but she got no treatment for it. And that was even though she saw a doctor the very next day and saw her private nurse 2 or 3 days later. And so at no point did she receive medical treatment. Then she also pointed out that there were no pictures of injuries. Now, Amber went around the house taking pictures of damage, took a picture of what was written on a mirror, but she carefully didn't stand in front of the mirror to show herself. She stood to the side. And the point that Camille Vasquez was making is you don't have photographs, and you could have if you wanted to. The problem with negative evidence is it's just not as strong. The absence of something is rarely as strong as the presence of something. So then she added on to what she had already with some just practical everyday facts. Like she said, okay, let's just think practically about this. This is a guy you say has taken 8 to 10 MDMA pills, so he's probably pretty high, and the tip of his finger has been severed, and yet, you say that he managed to hold you down by the neck, grab a bottle, and assault you. Does that seem likely? And Amber's only response was, I just don't remember the sequence. I don't really remember how it went. So then Camille layered in one additional piece of evidence that she had, and it was a text from Amber Heard to her therapist, Dr. Cowan. The reason this matters so much is, remember, this is an event where Depp's finger's been cut off. Amber Heard has been, according to her, a victim of SV, and yet she writes this to her therapist. I don't know if I'll ever be able to change. Clearly, I can't figure this out. A strange thing to write if you've just been violated and your husband has just had his finger cut off. Then Camille used the finest line of the entire trial, in my opinion. You are the one who assaulted someone with a bottle in Australia. Isn't that right? Really well done. Then I want to point out something on the TMZ facts. Now, I have another video on the TMZ fact, and you would really enjoy that. So please check that out. I'll put a link in the description below. It's called Bombshell Confession. And what I talk about is the body language that Amber uses when she talks about TMZ. Remember that Amber has said up until now throughout the trial that she never wanted to embarrass Johnny. She never wanted to do anything that would hurt him. So it was to her complete surprise that when she showed up to get a TRO, protective order against Johnny, paparazzi were there as she left. Had no idea. Big surprise to her. So at the deposition, taken all the way back in the divorce proceeding, she made an offhand comment and it just started rolling with it. The next thing you know, she pretty much said that TMZ had been notified and she was expecting them to be there. And you see her in the video, and you'll see that on the video after you go watch it, that she like grabs her mouth, like she's gonna pull those words back in, and then she does almost, really, one of my viewers described it, I love this, it's like a Home Alone look. She's like, and beautifully done. The Johnny Depp team froze frame on that at the very end with Amber going, it was so well done. Then you look at some other little things that she did. I mean, all of these were effective. That's why I picked them out. But you have, for example, you may remember the journal that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard wrote to one another. And, you know, I guarantee you there was a lot of that journal that was really boring. And, you know, like, have a nice day. Something just very, very boring. But they went through, which is what good lawyers do, and they picked out the stuff that mattered. And they came up with one just super creepy entry where Amber said, I still, more than before, want to rip you apart and devour you and savor the taste. Fret not. Now, there's just almost no explaining that. It's so bizarre. One of the things Camille wanted to do was show that Amber continued to use drugs in front of Johnny, although she claimed she wanted Johnny to get sober. A great example was that Amber, even at the time of their wedding, had a specific plan for the wedding documented in an email saying, here's one of the things I want to do at our wedding. Right after the wedding, we're going to have dinner, dancing, and drugs. And that was so astonishing. If this man becomes a monster when he takes drugs, why? Why would you serve drugs at the wedding? It makes no sense. And Amber's only response was, well, it was just a draft. It was just the original idea. So Camille rolled with the punches, which you have to do. She didn't freeze up at all. She said, okay then. So the original idea was to have drugs on an island with a drug-fueled monster. Is that right? Great cross. Really well done. Another great way that Camille Vasquez did the cross was she piled up places where Amber had said something all in a row so that they made more of an impact. For example, hitting. She took all of the times that Amber said, I hit Johnny, or said it on an audio, or someone else testified. She kind of piled them on top of each other, and then culminated, the series of cross culminated with an audio tape in which Amber actually says the words, I did mean to hit you. That was really well done because it undermined all of the things that Amber had said. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe and come back for more analysis of the trial. This is a really important week, so turn the notifications on so you don't miss anything.